Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details. Representing the men and women on sporting fields across the globe, and especially in Port Adelaide and deep South Australia, two blokes leading the charge that it's okay to be a little bit crap as long as you try hard. It's now time for another Best Team Men podcast.
Oh, what a week.
Yeah, how's your first week been at home, not doing anything?
Mate, it's been interesting. I've really struggled to sit still, and I can't sit still. As we spoke about the other day, it's hard to not do anything. I think the first day I did kind of nothing was yesterday when I watched the new Bad Boys movie and played some video games, and I can get to that in a second. But I'm always got something on. Like I said to you, like over summer, I'd have some sporting things to MC, but now there's nothing. So I'm still adjusting to that. Had a good day today going out with the guys from First Drop Wines, and it was amazing. So I want to give a shout out first of all to Jamie Manson. Now, Jamie Manson, I'm going to get his Twitter account up here so you can follow him for anybody who is listening on Twitter. Jamie Manson. No, you're thinking of his brother Marilyn Manson. Jamie Manson 101. Now he works for Tomich Wines, and Tomich Wines is on King William Road or King William Street, which is the one that's got kind of like the paved road. King William Street. Okay. So really, really like a popular winery in South Australia. They distribute everywhere. Anyway, what I was doing for First Drop today was going out in their limousine, and anybody who had online orders and put in the code Milkmobile would get 20% off, and they'd get it delivered to their door. And it was great. It was a bit of fun. Obviously, I talk about First Drop a bit, but Jamie, first of all, sent me a private message, which I think I shared with you, Maddie, on Twitter, and said he loves the podcast, which I think that's great. Like if we have one person that likes listening to us, that's a win for us. And then yesterday he said, I'm going to get involved and buy some of this First Drop wine. And I love that because, you work for different wine companies. You probably could hate one another. And I think that is most evident in the fitness industry. PTs just hating the shit out of every other PTs. Like it's...
They do pick them apart, don't they? They sit there and judge and all that sort of stuff.
Some of the stories I could tell you about what I've witnessed recently, mate, some PTs and strength and conditioning coaches who just make a living smashing others and trying to bring them down. I think it would be a very depressing life to do that. But shout out to Jamie. First of all, thank you for listening, mate. And of course, thank you for purchasing the wine today. And when I see you next, Maddie, actually, you know what? I think I'm going out again next week as well. We'll drop off a bottle at your place, Maddie.
Yep.
It's amazing. So
venture down to the deep south. Don't forget your flak jacket.
Deep south, mate. We went to Port Noarlunga today.
Oh, you were right near me.
Really, really deep south. It was a great day though, man. So I've had a bit of time to. There's been a pretty full on day, and we can talk about Twitter in a second, but it's really good to do this. I'm really enjoying doing these podcasts from home, and we've got some social media questions that we can ask at the end of this episode as well.
Yeah.
The audio is nice and clear, which is great, and it's good. We're being consistent, and we are really sticking to our guns. So what I thought we could do is at the start of this, let's talk about what we are going to discuss. Because usually we go in a little bit blind, but at least if people are listening and we're 3 minutes in, we can go, hey, what you're going to hear on this episode is these kind of concrete bits.
Yeah.
And then some other shit, which we just talked about anyway.
Branch off into, yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of a contents on what's happening?
Yeah, well, obviously this morning, and I just read before, there's been some drink driving scandals through the AFL as well. There was another one tonight. I'm not sure if you saw that one. That's just gone up. Obviously the Bulldogs are in a bit of shit, for lack of a better word. So, and as a result of that, there was obviously some tweets go out today that caught our attention. So we're going to go through that, and also some running etiquette, which I saw you tweet about actually not long ago. So I'm very looking forward to what you bring to the table there. And then I'm also very interested in your Bryan Mcfadden story that you've
so
haven't
I was
told me, but you've
by Bryan Mcfadden.
Let's start with, okay, you're on, let's call it holidays for lack of better words.
Yeah.
How's your routine with your diet and your nutrition going?
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm not bad. So I've hired some weights from Peak Performance Conditioning in Port Adelaide, which is great. I've been running quite well. I've been pretty happy with my running. And I've been eating okay, apart from tonight. So long story short, this time last week it was Good Friday, and every Good Friday I get a fillet of fish from McDonald's. And I think it's like fillet of fish is really hit and miss. You either like it
Yeah.
or you hate it. And I'm
Have
one
you
of the
noticed
guys who likes it.
there's two types? So you can get a really dense piece of fish that's
Yeah.
fried to within an inch of its life, or you
Yep.
get a really fluffy light one, and that's the one you want. You don't want the hard
Yes.
one. And there's ones that you get and you can throw it at someone, and if it hits them in the head, it'll knock them out.
That's exactly right. And I think it's the same with the McChicken as well. You're either eating a cardboard box or you're eating an undercooked piece of chicken. So
medium rare chicken.
Tonight I thought, okay, so I'm going to get my daughter some chicken nuggets. Like, she doesn't eat bad food at all, but I thought tonight, let's just try it, because we couldn't be stuffed doing anything. So we went to McDonald's, and my missus said to me, so are we going to be doing this as well? I'm like, yeah. Remember when you were in your 20s, or even maybe in your early 30s, a decent meal at McDonald's was going from the medium Big Mac meal to the large Big Mac meal, and you thought, I'm a hero?
Yeah.
This is what I got tonight. And I'm going to leave you with the hack until the end, because I'm going to blow your mind, unless I've told you this before. So
no, I don't think you have.
I get the Grand Angus, or the Classic Angus burger, because I think it's a classy Big Mac. Then I get the McChicken burger, or sometimes I get the grilled chicken burger. It's like getting a water with your Big Mac meal because you're trying to be healthy.
Save those calories.
Yeah. And because I missed Good Friday, I got the fillet of fish as well. So I got 3 burgers, right?
Love that.
2 large fries, no salt.
No salt.
That is my hack.
Okay.
No salt means the people at McDonald's have to cook your fries fresh.
I like it.
So you get them hot, and if you want to put salt on, chuck it on afterwards, but you're guaranteed to get your salt fresh. And I've downed those 5 items. I didn't get a drink because obviously I'm watching what I eat, so I wanted to be really healthy.
No soft drink at a time like that. Far out.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with my routine at the moment. It's one of those things, Matty. I don't know about you, because for people who listen to our kind of first season of Best Team Men, we spoke about you eating dim sims the night before every footy game on a Friday night.
6.
You kind of just need to tick that box, and until you do, you're going to think about it. You just got to do it.
Yeah, if as soon as it gets into your head, you might as well just give in and have it, because and I'm very much like that, and it's a dangerous mindset to have, because if I tell myself I feel like this and I'm going to get like this, then I will. There's no stopping me. And then in my head, I could turn around and go, no, don't do it, don't do it. Oh, but you've already thought about it. Just go and do it.
Yeah.
And I'll go and order my weight in Hungry Jack's or McDonald's, and then I'll feel really guilty after it, and then I won't eat for 3 days. So.
Well, I'm struggling at the moment. So, I think I'm going to go on a detox tomorrow, which I don't know what that entails, but
probably a run.
Yeah. So I'll go for a run at some stage tomorrow. So I'm struggling at the moment. It's been a pretty eventful day. So as you mentioned, as I'm responsibly having a glass of wine tonight, there's been 2 names which have come up over the past, 12 hours, I guess.
Yeah.
So the 2 players, one of them from the Adelaide Crows, which is Tyson Stengel, and of course Western Bulldogs player this morning as well, which was probably the more serious one of the 2.
Yeah, the Stengel one's only just come out. And I think the Bulldogs one is a little bit more serious, as it implicates several players now. It's come out that, there was Bailey Smith helped him get to, Billy Gowers' house and all that sort of stuff. So, it runs pretty deep there. So,
so we're talking about Lockie Hunter, who's the vice captain of the Bulldogs.
And that probably makes it worse as well. He's a vice captain. He's a leader of the footy club.
Yeah. And look, this stuff happens in the AFL every year. It happens in society most days. Let's just put that there. What I really was drawn to this morning was not the incident itself, because I think you and I can both agree on the incident itself. A guy got pissed and he drove. Now, they're saying that he actually drank to get himself over the limit, where he was at a friend's house or a teammate's house. So that was where he was tested by police. So that's all alleged in the hands of the police, whatever. That's a side note. But what really drew my attention to this story this morning, and I think most people, they wake up, they'll get their phone, they'll check all of their social media, especially now with coronavirus. Everybody checks it to see what's happening on the other side of the world, to see the figures of the UK, the US, and what I do a routinely check to see what stupid thing Piers Morgan said. Like, I've got some weird fixation with him, right?
Yeah.
So the thing I see is Triple M in Melbourne. There's two stories that they're going with. Seb Costello's going with Cassie Sainsbury, the South Australian girl, otherwise known as Cocaine Cassie, being released from Bogota prison and potentially coming home, which is a big story. And the next one is the Lockie Hunter one, which Tom Browne, who is the AFL reporter on Triple M and the Hot Breakfast for Channel 7 as well, he's tweeted about it. I want to be very clear when I say this. A couple of things. First of all, I work in the media. So this is if I ever say I have an issue with the media, I work in the media. That's a given, right? My issue with what I'm about to say isn't with the story being reported. That is a reporter's job. That is what they are paid to do. My issue is with the personal opinion which Tom has expressed via his social media. So for those who haven't seen it, and there's a fair few people that he has blocked, so they didn't see it, including yourself, which we'll get to in a sec. But
Yep.
I have people contacting me today referring to Tom Browne as Hakeem Olajuwon because he's such a good blocker.
That's fantastic.
So this is what he says at Tom Browne 7. I don't excuse drink driving. But now keep in mind, he's a serial person at doing this. He's like the guy that
drink driving.
I'm not a racist. But
Yeah.
He always does it. You know what? I mean, I don't dislike facial hair, but you have a disgusting moustache, Matty. It's like saying that.
Yeah. It looks more
disgusting.
prominent when I shave the rest of my beard as well. But
yeah. So this is what he said. I don't excuse drink driving, but I think the Hunter incident will highlight the pressure on the entire community at the moment. These are tough times mentally. Players, like a lot of the community, can't work, see family, friends, and have lost a routine. Thankfully, here, no one hurt. I saw this shared by somebody because he deleted it very quickly. So I retweeted it and I said, this is not your finest moment. Now, at this stage right now, at 8 o'clock on a Friday night, I mean, statistics are not that relevant, but I've had almost 1,000 people engage with what I've shared. It's not about me. This is about the opinion of Tom Browne, who I believe, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this as well, Maddie. I don't want to take all the spotlight out of this. Tom, you are in an extremely influential position right now, whether people like you, don't like you, or don't really give a shit. You have 17,000 people following you on your social media on Twitter. You have a whole radio platform, an audience, not just in Melbourne, not just around Australia if they have the Triple M app, but if people want to stream online all around the world, that you have that platform to influence opinion. Now, some of the stories that you have broken have been brilliant. I remember Tom Browne was all over the Essendon saga years and years ago, and he has moments where he has fantastic things like that. What I'm saying isn't a reflection of how he works as a journalist, because that is for people to make up their own mind. What I am saying is someone with such an influential opinion that people know who he is and listen to what he has to say, someone who is trying to justify a person making a decision to drink drive, to crash into these cars, and to whatever happened after that. That is a very poor decision for him to tweet that. I had one person who works in the media comment back at me and said, yep, it's a poor decision, but I think Tommy's going to be copying it right now from the Twitter mob. And I thought about it because I don't want him to get, obviously abused from people. It's going to happen, so I can't expect it not to. But still, you need to understand that if your job and your social media account is there to hold people accountable for how they act in life and the decisions they make, you made that decision to write that and to justify it. And there are so many people around the world right now who are going through a lot worse than footballers are going through and not making the decision to get in the car, drink and drive and put their life in danger, other people's lives in danger. And I thought it was really poor and I was really disappointed in it. The fact he deleted it, hasn't owned up to it yet.
No.
I just think it's poor, and I think it is irresponsible.
it is irresponsible, and it's almost significant that he would delete it, not come out, put his hand up, and as you said, he's a serial blocker, and he doesn't seem to take a lot of responsibility for when he's wrong, young Tom.
No.
He's there. He strikes me as the kind of journalist, and I don't know him personally, and I don't know if you know him personally, or
No,
I'm sure someone I know that knows him personally, but he seems to me to be the kind of guy that would rather be first than factual. A lot of the times, because like I said before, I'm blocked from him, and I didn't even abuse him. All I did, there was an injury. There was something. It was during a game. I can't even remember the team or the player, but someone went off, and he tweeted, "So and so's gone off. Mate, high grade hamstring will be out for 4 to 6." And I was like, "Mate, he's been off the ground for 30 seconds."
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know that. Like, it looked like cramp, or it looked like a corky or something. It was a corky or something like that. And that's all I wrote. I said, "Jump the gun a bit, Tom. It looks like a corky. He'll be fine." And he blocked me purely for that. And you know what? The bloke played next week. So, yeah, that's my little Tom Browne story. But yeah, he seems to be, if he gets something wrong, he'll shy away into the wilderness and you won't hear from him. But
yeah, and the difficult thing is that I've seen players call him out for some of his things he puts on social media, where I feel for a lot of journalists who are just doing their job, they, of course, if they write an article or do a report on a player which isn't favourable and they're reporting the facts, obviously the supporters of that player and the club are going to come out and have a crack on them. And you can't control social media. People are going to abuse them. Yeah. So you're fighting a losing battle, which I feel is bad. And we've spoken about social media like every episode. The fact that we are having a conversation about, I can see that people are going through these mental issues, struggling with routine. They are still making that decision to drink drive.
Mm-hmm.
If that is what he did,
mm-hmm.
and if this is what Tyson Stengel did, they make that decision.
Yeah.
So what happens if we go back to football next year, exactly the same as we are now, and that happens again? Is that condemned, or is that it's okay because there's another reason? So,
but it's happened all through the AFL for years.
Yeah.
Like, you look, players are getting caught every year, like you said. So we can't play the players are struggling with this lockdown and stuff like that. So many people. I haven't played a gig for over a month now. My industry's completely gone. And have I wanted to sit at home and get blind and drive my car? No. Am I going stir crazy? Yes. But I've decided not to. It's still a choice.
I have a theory, and I want you to go with me on this theory.
Right.
Might be inaccurate. It might be incorrect. But my theory is this. There is a chance that Tom Browne has tweeted that so he can get on the good side of Lockie Hunter and the Bulldogs, and he gets the story to speak to him. So he's coming across going, you know what? I feel for the guy. He must be doing it tough. Gets up close to him. I'm going to give him the story so he can speak his words. He gets the exclusive.
And I'm going to...
Media works like that a lot of the time, mate.
Yeah. It's sad if it's true, because he's copped a lot of hate for it. So...
Yeah.
Especially first thing in the morning. Like, if he's come out and he's learnt about it a little bit more and tweeted that later in the day with some facts behind it, different story. But to me, like I said... It's
also unnecessary for that tweet. It's unnecessary. Don't try to justify what he did.
No. Put the story up, by all means. Lockie Hunter has been done for drink driving 2 times the legal limit. This is what's happened. More to come. A lot more people are going to respect him.
I am a tweet deleter. I've deleted many tweets before because I've tweeted something. I'm not a controversial person, but I've tweeted something before and someone's had a crack at me. So I'm like, it's better if I delete it. My best ever tweet delete. I'm going to share this with you. So in the 2012 NBA Finals, the Miami Heat played against the San Antonio Spurs, and this was Game 6. So Game 6 was in San Antonio, I believe. Oh, maybe it was in Miami. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was about to go into a work meeting. It got down to the final minute, and it looked like the Spurs were going to win. They started bringing out the yellow tape, so around the court, and I have tweeted, bad luck to the Heat because I love LeBron James. Better luck next year, blah, blah, blah. I've gone into that meeting. Little did I know, a couple of seconds later, Ray Allen made the shot of his life to
with
hit
that
the
famous
three-pointer.
commentary.
Famous commentary. Bang!
Bang! Yeah.
Put it into overtime, and the Heat came back and won the championship. I deleted that bad luck tweet.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I know, but I still delete stuff at times because I'm still really self-conscious. If I say something and someone has a crack at me, I overthink it in my head. But that is just like, oh man, it's just it really disappointed me because it doesn't do anything for this. I want journos to be respected and to have, I work in this industry, so I want them to be able to have the opportunity to do this. But he's not doing himself any favors like that at all.
No, he's not. Do you reckon so Tom Browne, you wouldn't call him a leading journalist? Like he's not a Damien Barrett and he's not a, you know what I mean? Like he's not quite there yet, but he's not ground level either. Do you think that these smaller guys look at some of the stuff that the bigger number one, number two guys do and try to emulate that to try and fast forward their career a little bit?
I think so. I think it's such a strange environment now where you don't get the time to report what you want that's going to make the front page of the paper the next day. It has to be instant and it has to be straight away. If you look at Twitter and if you follow like a handful of journos, as soon as one story comes out from, say, Sam McClure, straight under that, Mitch Cleary would have done it. Straight under that, someone else would have done it. Like they all try to get it out straight away. Yeah. Straight away, they have to be the person. And then, like Mark Stevens, see more at 7 News on 6. Like, well, just tell us now. Like, it's all about trying to get people into their own little world and their sphere so they can be that person who breaks the news. Yeah. It's fascinating. I don't know. I don't. It's weird. I don't follow Tom Browne, but I just check to see what he's up to. I'm like that with a lot of people.
The thing that I think annoys me through all this is you've got guys, and it only happened yesterday, like Julian De Stoop, who doesn't have a job now.
Yeah.
But to me, he wasn't like that. He's one of the better ones, I reckon, that I've followed through the time. His content was substantial. He never, sided one way or another. He was pretty partial to everything. And he was just someone that I enjoyed watching on the TV reporting and, getting news and stuff from, because he was always pretty factual. So it's disappointing to see.
He had longevity in the one business as well. He stayed at Fox Sports for over a decade. Do you remember the best Julian De Stoop vision ever is when he was doing a report outside the Collingwood facility and Aaron Baines and Paddy Mills were behind him. And I think Paddy Mills, or one of them had their arm in a sling, Paddy Mills, I think. And they were holding the Larry O'Brien trophy and Julian had no idea who they were. But you're right. A lot of good people at Fox Sports are losing their jobs, which is it's a sad reality of what's happening in sports media at the moment because of coronavirus. And it doesn't look like it's going to get better any soon, but they are really talented people. And it's a shame. Like it is such a difficult, mate. It's such I don't envy their position at all, especially the ones that there's some of them that thrive on it, mate. There's some ambulance chasers in the media that love the fact that they can do the dirty work so they can get a story. But eventually they'll look back and go, oh, wow, okay.
I'm one of those.
I'm one of those. So it's tough, man. I know.
Absolutely.
Hey, what do you like on FIFA?
Well, do you know what? I haven't really played anyone. I'm really only going up against a computer. I haven't played online with a lot of mates, so it's really hard to compare myself. But I think I'd hold my own. I wouldn't say I'm going to, go out and break records and smash everyone I play, but I reckon I'd put up a competitive game.
That's what I thought as well. And I re-downloaded FIFA 20 over the weekend because it was only $40 on the PlayStation Store, which was amazing.
That's and right. I paid about $90 for it about 2 weeks ago, so perfect.
Well, I paid about $90 for AFL Evolution, and you can borrow that if you like, because I've won the premiership.
Yeah, your players look stoked as well.
Oh, they look really happy, mate, just as happy as I was to finish the game. So, I mean, I talked it up the day that I got it. And I'm like, I just want to win the premiership and never play this again.
And be done with it, yeah.
Exactly. So I've with FIFA, I'm a football fan, but I'm not like a real passionate fan that knows all the players from every squad going down the championship and the premiership and stuff. And I said, okay, I want to commit to building a side, starting them in the championship and then going up to winning the Premier League. So I got a recommendation to play as Leeds, but I'm not good at the business side of football. So I'm like just dropping players everywhere, trying to sell them. I'm like, wait, why doesn't Messi want to sign with me for like $10 million? What's going on?
Come on, Barca.
I'm so bad. And then I have to put you don't play video games to lose. So I'm like,
No.
I don't want all draws. I want to win like 5-0. So
Yeah.
I've put it down to like semi-pro. And then I played yesterday against a guy online. I played NBA and lost by 30. And I lost about 5-0 every time I played FIFA as well. I'm horrible, mate.
Well, maybe we should have a game and we might be at each other's level. You might be half a chance against me.
I think you and I need to have a game before our next episode, our next round, and we'll give a full debrief on how the other person plays.
Yep, I'm happy with that. We can do that.
That's a great idea. What's your PlayStation name?
Matty Burge FTD. All one word.
Yeah, I'm Witness J Walsh, I think.
The old witness.
Yeah, I know.
LeBron James.
Okay, so FIFA leads me to this story. Let's lighten it up a bit. So I've loved FIFA for a very long time. Like I remember the World Cup games and stuff. I just like playing it because I love sports games. And when I was living in Melbourne in 2008, and I think this is why I thought of this story last night because I was playing FIFA before I went to bed. And I got asked if I wanted to go to the video games exhibition at the Melbourne Exhibition Centre, which is
I remember
right on the Yarra.
Yeah,
it's right on the Yarra. So I went there and they wanted me to go there and do like a FIFA review so people could play it. And I thought, this is awesome. And they said, you know what, mate? You think that's awesome? How about this? How would you like to sit on the main stage and play one-on-one versus Westlife's very own Bryan Mcfadden?
Was this peak Westlife or post Westlife?
No, this is post-peak Westlife, but you got to understand this, Matty. I'm a Westlife junkie from way back.
Okay, so this is big for you.
When I would go to the sandbar on Friday nights at Hilly Beach and the DJ pulled out their version of Uptown Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at girls and singing it to them like I
Game
was
over.
Bri.
Yeah, I love it.
Unbelievable. So I thought, you know what? This is my opportunity to meet Bryan. I mean, he wasn't my favorite one of Westlife. I thought there were other ones, but you know what? It's one of Westlife. So we went there and he beat me, which is great because how embarrassing if I beat Bryan Mcfadden from Westlife at FIFA. But then he said to me, hey, let's do something really cool on the stage. I'm like, okay, let's do something really cool on the stage, Bryan. Are we going to sing Uptown Girl together or what?
Is there a reunion you're going to make me part of? Or?
Bryan says, when you think about it, his name's Bryan. Like
Bryan. Come on, Bryan. Bryan.
Hi, I'm Justin Timberlake. Hi, I'm Nick Lachey. Hi, I'm Bryan.
you got all the pop stars, like you said, like Justin. You got Bryan, the car salesman.
Bryan. Hey, I'm Nick Carter.
Good.
Hi, I'm AJ.
I'm
Bryan.
I'm Bryan.
So Bryan says, mate, I'm actually pretty decent at football. Like, okay, well, I'm not.
Is he English
This
or
is what I
Scottish
want
or
you to
whatever?
I'm not sure. He's one of those issues. This is what I want you to do. Oh, there's a cat. I want you to stand at one end of the stage and hold your phone above your head. What I'm going to do is stand at the other end of the stage and I'm going to kick the football and kick the phone out of your hand.
Come on, Bryan.
So I thought, okay, Bryan, mate, first of all, I'm not like holding an apple and you're Robin Hood and you're going to shoot that at the top of my head. Second of all, I've just got the new iPhone. Like this is when iPhones first came out.
Give me your phone, Bryan. I'll hold your phone.
Yeah. This is Bryan from Westlife. You do whatever B Ryan from Westlife says. So I thought, no worries. I mean, if Bryan from Westlife says that he can accurately kick the football or the phone from above my head, and I believe him. I mean, this is the guy who won the heart of Australian Princess Delta Goodrem. I mean, what can't he do?
Exactly.
So I've done it, and I've held my new iPhone above my head. Bryan's got the 8 people in the crowd kind of doing a slow clap. It's taken a few steps back. I mean, it was obviously something he came off a short run-up, actually. Yeah. And Bryan has really got onto the ball, and I knew that because it went straight into my face.
Come on, Bryan.
Bryan Mcfadden from Westlife. I've never had a bleeding nose until that moment.
Did he apologise at least?
No. He was laughing it off, mate. It was Bryan.
Oh,
he was looking around going, hey, get around me.
I'm Bryan.
I never want to see you cry.
Uptown girl.
So that was my Bryan Mcfadden experience. And I only thought about it last night. And it's quite such a weird story to tell.
It should have been like, surely there's alarm bells. When someone says, I'm pretty good at, they're not normally that good at it.
Yeah. Do you remember those movies where the guy has a gun? He's like, hey, you know what? Run. Like the Jackal. Yeah. When Bruce Willis says that, just run. He's like, all right, no worries, mate. I mean, you've got a machine gun. Obviously, you're not going to be that good at it. I'll just run.
He'd already shot his hand off as well.
It was Jack Black.
That's right. Yeah, because he was the computer nerd guy that could program the gun and all that sort of stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, good movie.
Yeah. So great movie. So that was my Bryan story.
Bryan smacked you fair in the face.
Yeah. Now, Maddie, tell me how you go for a run. We spoke about running etiquette on social media a couple of weeks ago. So I need to know some of the observations that you notice of people running. We'll get into running etiquette and then we'll ask some of these social media questions. What do you got?
So my running, I'm very much a headphone. I run at an oval. I try not to run on the road. I'm headphones in, don't really pay much attention or respect to what's around me. There wasn't the other day I was running and there was a couple of blokes kicking the footy and the footy came my way, went under the fence and I thought, all right, I'll stop. And I jumped the fence and gave them back their footy. So I thought that was a pretty polite thing to do. I try and stick to myself as much as I can. I don't run a lot. My running is, pretty short session, so I don't see a lot. But in terms of running etiquette, I don't think you'd want someone breathing down your neck. Like if you're in a position to overtake me, go around me.
Yeah.
And the same deal. If I'm going to overtake someone, I'm trying to catch up to them and go around them without trying to startle them. Because a lot of people do listen to music. So if you're running and you run up behind someone, I'll really try and make a point that I'm not going to try and mug you. I'm just trying to go a bit quicker than you.
Yeah, a couple of things I thought of when I was running the other day. First of all, so the things that I wrote, number one is that you don't have to start the run and you're not allowed to until you find a song that you start well with. I think it's really important to find what you're starting well with.
Mm-hmm.
I can listen to podcasts and talk about radio when I run, but I notice if you listen to music, you're going to run faster.
Yeah.
Your legs either run to the beat of the song or you pick up the pace. And listening to the song, if you imagine yourself doing something like if you're listening to a kind of pump up rock song, so you might be imagining yourself playing footy in a grand final, your mind is taken away from what you're actually doing with the run and you focus on that. The less you focus on how much you're hurting and how much you're breathing, the better. I think that you can stop your run if you are on a song that you don't like and you need to change your playlist. So if you're running, holding your phone, you can try to do it right while you're running, but I think that's totally okay. What you said is great. I think if you've got someone in front of you, it might provide you with a little bit of a challenge to get past them. If you've got someone behind you, that's great, but they need to go past you. One of the things I hate is when you're running on a walking track and you're allowed to, there's like a couple of people, like two people walking on either side of it, and you need to yell out, come and left, come and left, come and left. It's like, mate, just understand that this is a running track as well.
Yeah.
I think you're allowed to sing while you are running.
Yes. I'm all about that.
Thing.
I remember running on the treadmill once at the gym, and I had a phone call. And I was trying to talk and run at the same time. And let me tell you, I doubled the calorie burn. Like it actually takes it out of you trying to talk and run at the same time. Now, here's one. I'm going to hit you with one here.
Go.
Running on the road and running on the spot while waiting for a crosswalk. Yes or no?
Okay, I'm going to let you in on a secret here. If I get to a pedestrian crossing and I have to wait, I'll stop my stopwatch. I don't believe that wait is counted as part of the run.
Yep. No, that's fair. I see those people jogging on the spot and I'm like, mate, just have a breather. Come on. Yeah,
but if you stop your stopwatch as well, that also provides you a little bit of a cheat time to have a breather.
Absolutely.
Because you've got to be road smart, mate.
Yeah, you can't run it, especially if you're listening to music as well. You don't want to run across the road. Agree. But then the way that can actually knacker you is if you get to that same point next time and you get a clear path and go, your time's going to be worse. You don't have
that's why you kind of slow down while you're waiting for it. And what about skins? If you're wearing skins, do you wear shorts over the top of them?
I ran at the Oval the other week, and I didn't. No, I had full lengthies on. If I'm wearing full length ones, I couldn't find them, and it was wet.
Couldn't find what? Oh, okay.
My shorts. I couldn't find my shorts to put over the top. So, no, I didn't. And yeah, that was I don't know if you saw on my little fitness account that I've got, and I put up a running session that I did, and Scott Pendlebury put that same session up during the week, and that's where I got it from. And I decided to tag him in the post saying that I got this running session from Scott Pendlebury. Now, anyone that knows me knows I'm a massive Collingwood fan and I'm a massive Scott Pendlebury fan. Within 10 seconds of putting up the post, he liked it.
Which
is great. Oh, frothed. Amazing. The only thing was I was wearing a fucking Richmond t-shirt in it. My one time that Scott Pendlebury probably sees me and I'm wearing a Richmond
He knows
top.
you exist.
He knows I exist. He thinks I'm a Richmond supporter.
As a Richmond supporter, yeah, exactly.
So I messaged, name drop a bit here. So I messaged Braden Maynard, who I know quite well.
Yeah.
And I said, mate, something's happened. I go, Pendles is just like my post. Can you please tell him that I'm not a dickhead Richmond supporter and I'm actually a Pies fan?
Yeah, I like that. Good. All right, let's go to some
hopefully the
social
message
media
got across.
No,
yes,
it didn't get
let's
across.
go. I saw a couple of these. I'm excited to answer them.
How do people follow us on Twitter at Best Team Men? We are on Facebook as well. Instagram, not at this stage, but I thought about it the other day. You know what I was thinking? I thought, do we need to change our logo? And I just looked at our logo then on the podcast app, thanks to Ozcast Network. I love our logo.
It stands out. It stands out.
It does.
I made it with very, very minimal Photoshop experience.
No, you can tell. But that for us is like what our thing's all about. Like
it
this
is
what
yeah. We just have a crack. We're just blue collar.
That's exactly right. Okay, so Elliot Claxton, which is at BurgeClax11 or
Clackers.
Yeah, it's E-Dog. He loved the Mighty Ducks podcast. Whoever can never watch it again after you brought up all those plot holes, which is sorry about that. But thank you. Top 5 fictional athletes. Now, I think we need to hold that, and we'll do that next episode so we can have a good think about it.
All right, give me one now, though.
Go.
Give me one. You give me yours.
Okay, so
not in your top 5. Just give me a wild card entry. Someone that
Happy
you like.
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. Okay, don't mind it. Ricky Vaughan, the wild thing from Major League.
Yep, very good. I watched Remember the Titans for the first time on the weekend.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's good. It gave me lots
powerful,
of like emotion. Yeah. And yeah, it's full on. Okay, so here we go. Funky, Baz, and Face at Funky Baz Face. So these guys do a podcast. They're 3 brothers, right? And I did a little chat with them during the week. Absolute legends, like real legends. And I have no issues promoting what they do. They just do a nice sports podcast, and it's great. If you were going to field a team of best team men, who would make the cut? I reckon this is another one we can go into more depth with next episode.
Yeah.
But like, who for you is someone that you go, you know, they're a great team man. They're never going to win the best and fairest, but they'll win the best team man.
Are we talking footy or just any sort of sport?
Can be absolutely anything. So I'm going to say, example, Matthew Dellavedova.
Yep. Okay. I was thinking Livingston.
Sean Livingston.
Yeah.
NBA player.
Yeah. NBA player.
Yeah.
Because he could have
for the Warriors.
Yeah. So he could have gone off and probably been a starting 5 player for a handful of clubs that were not doing so great. Do you agree with that? Or is he sort of... I've
got his jersey. Destined? I went to America in 2004 and I wanted to buy the worst jersey I could find and I got his.
But he was 6th man for a very good side, a very, very good side for a very good long time. So I feel like, you know, he could have gone and been a starting 5 player at a really, you know, run-of-the-mill bottom club. But he decided...
Sorry, when you get time, go YouTube his horrific leg break when he played for the Clippers.
Is it going to make me throw up?
Hopefully.
Bit of Nathan Browne
as well, because I had you know, obviously 18 kilos of macas, so I'll watch it as well. All right, Facebook questions. There's 3 of them. So let's start off with, all the way from Yatla, Glenn Aikman. Now
he's still there.
It's unbelievable how he has Facebook there.
I love it.
The excitement I have about The Last Dance, although I am worried it will be like watching Michael Jordan's Playground for 10 hours. Lucky I have Netflix in Yatla. It's not a question, more of a
It's a
statement.
statement.
I'm not sure really where to go from there.
Have you seen that Jordan's come out and said people are probably going to dislike him about the way he was in this doco?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it because I was never big on Jordan. So I kind of missed the Jordan era. But Glenn, thanks for your statement, which has, the excitement I have about The Last Dance, even though I'm worried it will be like watching Michael Jordan's Playground for 10 hours.
There's nothing wrong with. I had all those VHSs, the Come Fly With Me and Michael Jordan's Playground. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Okay, so Glenn, a bit of feedback. When we ask for a question, I'll maybe ask a question.
If we ask for a statement, we'll ask for one.
Yeah. Let's hope they a Q&A isn't your release out of Yatlow because you are stuck there.
There's no education in
okay.
Yatlow.
Let's go into the Bodge, Craig Bodger, who says, I think you should do a podcast on South Australia's most underrated sports men and women. Someone who, for some reason, throughout their whole career, never got the plaudits they deserve. I reckon it's another one we've got to think about for next week.
Yeah, 100%.
We've got to do a lot of thinking.
We've actually got some homework to do.
I think we should release 2 episodes a week, by the way.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. We could do a weekender.
Yeah.
Weekender and a midweeker.
Yeah,
like
good. I like that.
A Saturday sort of morning setup and then a midweek Wednesday.
Good. Toby Skip Strudwick. Toby is the Essendon supporter, the music man for the Adelaide 36ers. He is known worldwide to be the guy that said coronavirus, it's just a flu. Next minute, whole world shuts down.
He also works for a very prominent trivia company. I hope that he puts that in his trivia. Who was the man that said the coronavirus is just a flu?
He's doing an online quiz with his daughter at the moment. Everybody should get around it as well because obviously
he's a good fella. He is actually a really good fella.
He is. And like you and myself, Matty, his job with his Quizmasters has been affected for the time being as well. Yep. So is it called Quizmasters?
Yes. Quizzing me.
No, not
it's one of those two.
Why don't we ask Glenn Aikman? All right. Okay. This is Toby's question.
Yeah.
On the field court, which teams could actually be benefiting from the lockdown? Like key players currently injured getting time to come good, younger players the chance to put on some muscle, older players giving their bodies a rest, etc. I think it's a very good question.
It is a good question.
And I've thought about this as well. Like, I think things like players coming back from long-term injuries. Now, yes, in theory, it's good for them because they have longer away from the game, but they don't have as much physio access to physios, obviously, to get the right rehab that they need.
Not as much match training either.
Exactly. So it kind of puts their recovery on pause. Yep. I don't think anybody benefits from this.
I think, if anything, the strong get stronger in this.
Well, they have more longevity because teams don't know how. So say, for example, the Gold Coast Suns in the AFL, they're not spending time training together or playing together to get better. The Crows aren't training under Matthew Nicks to get better. He's been there for one game in a preseason. So what's going to happen there?
Yeah, I think it's only going to make your bigger teams like Richmond, West Coast and all that sort of stuff, gets maybe a few of their key players back that might have been underdone going into round one. It gets, more training and more recovery time for those guys. Like, whether Nick Nat needed an extra month or something like that before round one, or just those guys that were really pushing for round one selection in those good teams. It's only going to help them.
Can you timestamp this for me? I've got a prediction to finish off.
8:30 p.m. on Friday, the 17th of April.
When AFL comes back, Alex Rance will play for Richmond.
You know something?
No,
just a hunch.
No, that's my hunch.
Okay. All right.
It could be wrong, but you know what? I'll just delete what I said and do a bit of a tea brownie.
Maybe that's what we can call that now. If you get something wrong and you just vanish it out of your life, he's done a Tom Browne. He's done a tea brie.
I still can't get over our last round when we discovered that Robbie Armat claimed to get goal of the year in the year 2000.
His mates have absolutely Wikipedia'd him, and he didn't. He wasn't even in it. It was who was it? Some bloke from Crediuk or someone like that from the Western Bulldogs in 2000.
Yeah. Oh, Quizmeisters. It's called Quizmeisters.
Okay,
Quizmeisters. All right. Well done, Toby.
On your toes.
Thanks, Toby. Hey, it's just a flu, apparently, according to the old Toby. Mate, this has been great.
Unreal, mate.
Thank you, everybody, for asking your questions. We are very grateful the fact that the people listen to this as well, because we're just, what if nobody listened, we'd still be doing this. It's a bit of fun. I've never looked at any listening statistics. Maybe people don't listen to it apart from us.
They might not. But yeah, no, it's just a good opportunity for us to catch up and talk a bit of shit. And I'm sure there are people that listen to it and do enjoy it, and send that feedback in, definitely, and give us some topics as well.
Give us some topics. And when we say, if you've got any questions, don't give us a statement like Glenn Aikman.
No. And if we say, give us a statement, don't ask us a question.
Yeah. I mean, Glenn, stop being dodgy. We understand that your former employer was, but you don't.
I fit under that bracket. I can't laugh because I was in the same boat.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you want to book a wedding? Book it in, mate. I mean, we're not going to obviously put it on because we close by then, but yeah, give us a money.
Hey, come and do some renos for us, brother. We won't pay you, but at least you'll fucking...
Wait, you want cash for this, what you just did? No. We didn't discuss that before, mate.
No.
I do handshake agreements and I cross my fingers.
I go bankrupt before I have to pay you.
Oh, I'm so glad that no one knows what we're talking about.
No. Oh, far out.
See you, mate. Bye.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.